Welcome to Battle of Psychics is the show in Russia that tests people with supernatural abilities. In this program, you will be able to see with your own eyes what people who call themselves psychics can do. So, our trials begins. Clairvoyants on the road to death. Will they be able to understand that there are ghosts here?
She is a very fruitful woman. A cry from the soul, from the depths of...
There's an accident.
What secret does this forest hide?
Shouldn't live here. Places they should leave alone.
I just know what is really going to get bad for your people and group here. Forgive me, Lord, you are all fools.
There are 6 young men, one of whom is a foreigner.
Extreme Man looks like Quentin Tarantino.
Can psychics truly sense the energy of others?
I felt an intense desire to approach this man in a shirt. He strongly resembles Schwarzenegger, but a passport for a different person.
Clairvoyants have a few minutes to make an accurate diagnosis of an unusual patient.
What did they come up with that thing?
Are they capable of seeing what happened to this particular man?
It's a man and a woman.
More than half of people who turn to psychics for help ask to be cured and claim that supernatural abilities sometimes help better than the most expensive medicines. Whether this is true or not is unknown. At least science hasn't proven it. We will not ask our psychics to demonstrate healing miracles. We will ask you to give them an accurate diagnosis. At first glance, a person is completely ordinary. Our patient is 31 years old. His height is 178 centimeters, weight 85 kilo. At first glance, this is an absolutely healthy young man, but in fact, Alexei has a long-standing and incurable disease. To the average person, she is completely invisible, but can they are psychics? Will they be able to sense that something is wrong with this person? The course of this test will be observed by our permanent expert psychiatrist, Mikhail Vinogradov.
Real psychics don't ask their patients anything. They see them as, let's just say they use a special kind of gaze, an inner one. Good afternoon. Soon, psychics will arrive, and you must not communicate with anyone or react to anything.
To ensure the integrity of the experiment, we will prohibit the psychics from speaking to or even touching our patient.
He has one health problem. You have 10 minutes to determine what the diagnosis is.
Psychic Valentina Nikitenko, before examining the patient, decided to remove all jewelry so as not to be distracted.
Can I say everything?
You can say everything you feel.
Alexei consists of 2 parts, equally 50 by 50, man and woman in his case. He's unique. This is a man and a woman at the same time, hermaphroditus.
Shall we ask her?
Hello? I can't hear, but I'm talking. I can count on lips. Such a problem.
The one and only diagnosis is absolute deafness. He exhibits all the traits of a man. Valentine, you're mistaken in this matter.
Alexei has not heard for almost 15 years, but he is not deaf-mute, he has only lost his hearing. At the same time, Alexei speaks normally, and what he is told in response, he has learned to read lips. So that psychics do not guess that he is deaf, Alexei must remain silent during the tests, and most importantly, not try to read lips.
Have some objects or something in his hands.
Him.
The clock there or the
Telephone.
Still, it seems to me that you came up with something clever. No. I thought he'd lost his voice. No, it's definitely not. No, it's not like that. I still suspect something is wrong with left leg. There might be an issue there.
Well, let's ask.
I suffer from hearing problems and can't hear.
Well, if he is a deaf or almost deaf person, then I thought telephone hears, so that's what stopped me from answering.
Leonid Konovlov found our hero's mobile phone puzzling. Nevertheless, Alexei, who is deaf, frequently uses it to communicate. He's quite often talking on the phone. The answer is SMS, as Alexei typically calls his wife and his young daughter Alina.
She hears well, cheerful as always, just what my desired. Very happy, very content.
And now Andrei Zatev will diagnose our patient. By the way, he is a professional doctor, but now acts with his psychic methods.
Now I have noted 3 main points of problems related to the heart, possibly the threshold of kidney problems, and something related to hearing. Maybe there's speech, partially, maybe contusion and hearing loss.
I am completely unable to hear lip reading.
Well, initially while still in the preparatory process, and I thought that this person would be deaf-mute. But apparently he reads lips, but there was a problem. It is related to hearing.
Sinusitis and tooth loss cause significant changes, such as pressure on the pelvic bones.
Yes, if you believe Farida Sheikha, then Alexei is sick with all the diseases in the world. But Maxim Vorotnikov never felt any illness. He was looking in a completely different area.
Something to do with digesting food, huh?
Julia Rajabova immediately determined that Alexei's problem was in the head.
Here you can.
So yes.
I don't like this ear area. It seems to go here and into the throat. It was a head injury to the ear. And even here I see intensive care that...
When I was 3, it got cold in the winter outside, and soon I was taken to intensive care. There was a diagnosis, meningitis.
I'm afraid I'm something like a deaf-mute person because I can't hear it, can't speak.
Alexei lost 90%, although doctors offer him expensive operations, but the result is not guaranteed. What will Julian Jabova say?
On the right side there is general deafness, sensations on the left, and then at times.
Don't worry, everything can be done.
Here, Zulia, undoubtedly.
I'm absolutely certain it is only Zulia.
So at the end of this program, you will learn the name of the psychic who will leave our project. Or maybe you already guessed who it will be. What your intuition tells you, but don't rush. It was just a warm-up for psychics, the hardest and most difficult trials.
Head.
5 Russians and 1 foreigner. Are psychics capable of identifying aliens?
Americans are individuals just like us.
We brought clairvoyance to the road of death.
It was an extremely large accident.
Is this face truly haunted?
The husband and wife tragically died, and there were numerous car accidents.
Each nation has its own unique character and mentality. The English are prim Italians. The romantic Spaniards possess a mad temperament. Is it true that individuals from different countries have completely distinct energies, different from us Russians? Now, we will check whether our psychics can feel someone else's mentality and accurately identify a person from another distant country. For this test, we invited these 6 young people. 5 of them were born in Russia, and 1 is a foreigner who flew to us from another continent. Will psychics be able to find a foreign citizen among them, using only their gift of clairvoyance? For the first time, our experiment will be conducted by independent journalist Elena Bratukina. Absolute skeptics are very critical of everything supernatural. She wants to personally make sure our psychics aren't cheating and they don't have any clues.
With your hands or shooting with your eyes is some kind of diction or fraud.
Look, we have specially selected these young people, so it is really difficult to determine by eye which of them is a foreigner. But Elena is still not entirely happy with their appearance. Our skeptical journalist suggested giving the guys a more foreign look.
Let's wear this. shirt and unzip as much of her as possible. Could you please switch places? Well, in general, I'm satisfied.
Before our psychics enter the battle, you have an amazing opportunity to test your intuition. Have you already figured out which of these intriguing guys holds a foreign passport? Perhaps you all are psychics in disguise. Try to identify one foreigner among these 6 young individuals. Who do you think was born on another continent? Don't spend too much time thinking and trust your inner voice to guide you. So very soon you will find out which of these 6 is an alien, and you will understand whether you have supernatural abilities. Made it that locating our hero is quite a complex task, and now our test team will attempt to identify the foreigner. These are ordinary girls without any psychic abilities. Who are they? We don't even know. We just saw them on the set for the purity of the experiment. They were invited by a skeptical, independent journalist.
Here, Desire can join. Control group. How to do this? Read in our magazine.
It seems like these young men thoroughly confused the girls. None of the 10 were able to identify our hero correctly. Now our psychics will commence this examination. To assist them, we shall provide the foreigners with their passports.
I'm concerned that if he happens to fall accidentally, there are likely photos that the psychic might observe.
Whose passport?
We taped it on all sides for reliability. Perhaps the psychics can locate the personal belongings of our hero. Farid Sheikhi will attempt to manage this challenging task.
Are you see 6 men before you? Among them, one is American. We are going to search for him now. You have time for everything up just 10 minutes. I have his thing. Yes, this is his passport. You can hold it in your hands if you like it.
His name is George. There are 2 people here. They speak English.
I think there's a man in a black t-shirt.
Men in black.
Farida pointed to this man. Is it really Josh? And what do you think?
This man, what's your name? Please tell me.
My name is Sergey. This is George McLander. He's an American, born and living in New York.
Why is your choice? Sergey, after all.
I don't know. It seemed to me that his voice apparatus was built a little differently.
Sergey, do you speak English?
No. The passport remained closed because I couldn't check it. A brilliant trick indeed, a brilliant trick.
Leonid Konovalov, a professional cinematographer, teaches at VGIK and considers himself an aspiring psychic.
Extreme Man looks like Quentin Tarantino.
But it wasn't him I had the desire to approach. Here's to this man in an shirt.
It looks like Schwarzenegger, but I want a passport for another person. Still, to ask how last one is here. Here, Eid Pasha, everything is clear. That is most likely the gentleman sitting beside him. And I felt an incredibly strong urge to hand him the passport. Americans are people just like us. You know, I felt that with the person next to me.
Perhaps the excitement got in the way, but he showed us good knowledge of world cinema.
Now, let's find out what Zulia Rajabova has to say.
I don't need them at all. America is extremely far. America, yes.
Please take note, I've not yet pointed to a foreign individual, but already sensed the country of his origin.
Well, if you're sure of your answer, you can go to him yourself.
George?
Yes, I do.
I didn't doubt it in the slightest, but he speaks the language very well. This individual is disguised as a foreigner. He is related to it, either ancestrally or through a blend of two bloodlines.
She wasn't mistaken about the bloodline. Indeed, both of them are of Gypsy and Jewish descent. Immediately after the ordeal, Julia admitted that she hesitated to say everything she felt and would only do it one-on-one with the camera.
It was very inconvenient to talk about this, and it also be a little incorrectly, but since this fact is visible, why not say what is clearly visible? The relationship. Here are unconventional ones between men. The guy who sat on the other side is his favorite person. They have a connection, like even love or something. I don't know what name is.
George and I share a strong friendship. We enjoy going to the cinema together and unwinding. We enjoy watching movies and communicating in both English and Russian.
Is Valentina Nikitenko capable of discovering our true American hero?
Attention group, please open your handles. Yes, like this. Thank you.
My name is
Roman.
What's your name?
Andrei Zativ made a selection for Ilya. The final psychic, Maxim Vorotnikov, commences the examination.
Exceptions.
Falls off. The two seem to possess a similar type of energy.
Let's find out the name of our hero.
Ask to stand up.
Damn it.
2 months ago, I was in Australia. I 6 years. Before that, I was in America for 5 years.
Here's the mistake in what was a little wrong with the things for me. I would like some part of clothes to absorb it so that the smell of energy is clearer.
I am no longer the skeptic, not the resolute skeptic who arrived here. I would single out two individuals, Zulia and Maxim. They are entirely different persons, but for some reason, I felt that some kind of power, some kind of energy, and some kind of ability were genuinely present in them.
Only one psychic out of 6 Zulia correctly identified. The Americans too pointed to Ilya, who, it turns out, can also be considered foreigners, but we'll see how they cope with our next test, because we brought them to a place where real ghosts can be found, and it's not a joke. This is a beautiful place, shrouded in mystery, Lodkarinskaya Bride's Glade. Newlyweds from all over the Moscow region gather here, but not everyone knows that the road to the Glade of Brides. Locals call the road Death. This is where accidents happen all the time, and people die in all deaths. Litkarin is haunted by ghosts.
It was already dark, and there was a woman walking in front of us. We brake sharply, throw ourselves into the oncoming lane. Good thing there were no cars.
Will psychics feel the brides?
I'm sure the wedding processions will stop.
Will they spot a ghost?
There are men in young costumes. Dozens or even hundreds of guide.
Can they explain why so many people die on this seemingly smooth road?
This place is a cemetery. I just have cemetery and not one cross for all the people was not buried normally.
The movie Sixth Sense. Remember, there was a boy who saw the dead. Our psychics claim that they can not only see the dead, but also communicate with ghosts. Now we will have the opportunity to test this, because we brought our participants to a place where there are a large number of ghosts. At least so say local residents. The nearest Moscow forest route, Lyubert-Silotkarina. Here is a beautiful, mysterious place, which is popularly called the Glade of Brides. It is here from all over the Moscow region that newlyweds gather on one of the brightest and happiest days of their lives.
When the marriage is registered, the couple goes to the bride's clearing and then goes to Poklonaya Mountain or to Moscow to ride. It is the custom that they stop at this bride's clearing.
In recent years, the Vodkarensky Road to the Bride's Glade. Locals call it nothing other than the death. Wreaths, crosses, monuments, silent witnesses, many tragedies. Here on a stretch of road only a mile and a half. Car accidents frequently occur, causing many fatalities.
People, if you count the number of deaths in kilometer, that stretch of road, probably more than any other in the Moscow region, rightly earns the title Road of Death.
Local residents claim that ghosts are to blame on this road, and drivers often meet them. Seeing the ghosts, they drive off the track and crash.
They are not necessarily men, or they are necessarily women, not necessarily old, not necessarily young. In a word, we didn't notice. Some special category of people to whom this ghost would be, and vice versa, to whom it would not be.
Many ghosts have been sighted along the Korensky Road of Death, but the bride's ghost is seen most often.
The bride was driving to the bride's clearing, and there was a traffic accident. That is, the girl died from it. She's the only one. Now there is such a belief that this girl also walks along the roadway in a wedding dress.
If psychics people are super sensitive, then they must feel and see ghosts. Is that so? We'll find out right now. The tests will be conducted by so-called ghost hunters. Representatives of the informal organization Cosmopoisk, which is engaged in the study of anomalous phenomena, but especially these people are interested in ghosts.
12 years ago, we first learned about the Litkarinskaya anomalous zone. Residents from different villages of different settlements told approximately the same ghostly woman, young, old, that suddenly jumps onto the road, obstructing traffic and causing distraction.
We brought the clearly seeing along a completely different route so that they would not see the wreaths and the monument. We landed them in the forest just 300 meters from the Bride's Glade itself and the so-called Death Road. Will psychics feel the Bride's Glade? Will they see the ghosts? Can they explain why so many people die on this smooth road? To the test? Clairvoyant Valentina Nikitenko.
My name is Leonid. We need information about this place. We have been collecting it for quite a long time. And here's how to say, connected to a psychic with the help of TNT, we need real information. Anything you can say about this place.
To feel the energy of this strange place, clairvoyant Cossacks had to tune in for a very long time.
Place, recount their tale. If you look to the south, there begins a zone from which something benevolent, positive emanates. I would even say that there is a place of power in this place. The hopes of love, where new life is born. Where do people come to worship?
Valentina suddenly began moving in the right direction, straight to the bride's clearing. Just a couple of minutes later, the clairvoyant arrived exactly at the spot where newlyweds gathered.
So, well, This place looks like a ritual place of Vedic rituals. Judging by the energy, people come here who marry.
Despite the fact that Valentina Nikitenko found the glade of brides to see the road of death in a car accident, the ghost she could not. Strangely enough, the connection of this place with weddings and newlywed psychics feel immediately.
This is a highly revered place that provides of hope, of luck, and love for married couples. I think this place is apparently some kind of anomalous in itself.
Indeed, this place is quite anomalous, but Andrei Zatif was unable to elaborate further on the details. Our next psychic, Leonid Konovalov, was immediately unlucky. By the beginning of his trial, it had become completely dark in the forest, and Leonid was used to working only in sunlight.
So here I am, present at this very location. In this location, I observed several features like fallen trees, and yet more fallen trees. There appeared some form of incline, a slope of some kind.
Pictures of ghosts did not come to Leonid Konovalov today, but the darkness did not prevent him from seeing the glade of brides.
Wedding processions halt here. I find it perplexing to comprehend the reason, as there appear to be no notable attractions, and there's really nothing to mention. Not monuments, much less ordinary bridges, knowing they stop on bridges, but here there are no bridges.
Now 3 psychics have not solved the mystery of the bride's glade, and maybe Maxim Vorotnikov will succeed.
Married couples gather here for celebrations, specifically as a ritual. This place, but here often with a sense of unease. Accidents have happened here. There was a wedding on this road. What do you call it when the bride, groom, and all the invited cars were involved in? It was a massive collision. A husband and wife died at their wedding, and there were a lot of car accidents. There were dozens, maybe even hundreds of car accidents. It's likely some people died. The photos. Some images taking us will probably notice a fog in all photos taken at a specific time.
Indeed, local residents are simply afraid to take a camera with them into the forest once again, because photos in these places turn out to be countries. Take a closer look.
My nephew's friends went to this wedding venue, just a bunch of guys. Enjoying themselves and relaxing, they took photos, and upon returning home, they saw bizarre figures like ghosts behind this boy in the images.
I would say that there are a lot of old cemetery burials here. The cemetery is very old and ancient. It feels like it was almost completely leveled. Many undead found their end, and this was linked to the road accident. One by one, and the road.
As it turned out, the road to death really does go right through the cemetery. Scientists believe that there are ancient Slavic burials of the 10th, 11th centuries at the beginning of the last century. The old cemetery has been desecrated, laid through it, and now cars actually drive over human beings.
The road passed through the former graveyard of ours. Every day they ride on someone's bones. Well, accordingly, as they say, old people cause just or righteous anger.
There is a legend or something related to this place. Why is there the married couple? I can't understand. There should be no place for the living here. They should leave here, leave them alone. Otherwise, they will continue.
Here it is.
When it arrived, it was usually these -2, -1. As soon as it arrived, the same number.
62B. Psychic Maxim Vorotnikov very accurately described the wandering ghost of the bride, told about the road of death and the ancient cemetery. Do people die because they ride on bones? With each passing hour, it became increasingly terrifying. The clairvoyant Farida Sheikha, heading to this trial, continuously offered her prayers.
Lord, be bountiful, O Lord. Kindly pardon me, O Lord, and forgive me, O Lord.
Post prayers opted for the most unique rendition.
You know, I really never heard it, never read it, that meteorite of some kind or a cosmic body that could have come from space. An extraterrestrial body that might potentially be located here in the Moscow area.
Farida Sheikha was merely 200 meters from the perilous route to death. This was in stark contrast to Julia Rajabova.
You proceed 2 meters to this zone where you'll find something positive. When you get to the court, my eyes remain closed. I have my own signals. It's very challenging to speak. This area keeps shaking and makes you feel nauseous. I feel these streams passing through me. This zone is not a negative. It's black and deadly and has an awful smell. This place feels like a graveyard with a single cross for everything. You can bury it properly.
Ensure it is secure for the residents living there.
Only the priest can secure the place, not you.
And show you the place, it would help us a lot.
Reveal it now. Just leave me alone. And in this direction. Sorry for disturbing your world. Please calm down. You know there's no designated place here.
One of the operators come up and take the numbers on the device. Here the normal number should be here from 5 to 5, and the numbers that it is showing now. To be honest, I'm at the...
I want to go on the road. Don't hold me, okay? Let me go lead us, as it were. Move and follow my footsteps precisely. Mark and measure everything. Here, here, and here. Here are more precise locations. This is the whole area. This is how I felt 2 meters from the road. This whole area is sacred. Yeah, that is a lot of deaths, a lot of corpses of unburied normal people, and their souls lie. There are a lot of people screaming on stretchers. And the screams of women and even children, torture and bullying. Right here in this place, the woman is... A deep cry from the soul as if from her. Living relatives come here as if crying scream groans. The family of Lina Leonid Grisha Nabukovaya, possibly a surname.
We are unaware of the names of those who perished here, but it seems something dreadful occurred.
I was sitting here, it came to me until I put this silver cross between my teeth and my mouth. It's very bad, just pray and believe here. Go to the temple, put a candle for the dead. It is for this place that you definitely need to make. Just know that I see that 2 people with a group will really get bad here. Forgive me, Lord, you are young, you are all fools.
Even though Zulia managed to scare half our crew, we decided to continue with our project. A decisive moment lies ahead. So, at the council of the jury, it will become clear which of the psychics has become the best this week, and which will have to leave our battle.
If Zuli had her day, then as for Leonid Konovalov, frankly felt sorry for the man. He simply couldn't say anything. Other than him, little hit Valentine's...
Dear Psychic Board of Jury has made its decision today. The battle of psychic, someone leave. Dear jury, today we have to choose the best psychic of the week and vice versa, the weakest one who will leave our project today.
In my test, in fact, it makes no sense for me to call the best or worst because I'm the only person who correctly named a foreigner, Ulya.
That is, she is the only one who even passed this test. She walked very calmly and knowingly around the people presented to her and immediately named the right person, although our ordeal was a trap. There was one American among the 6, and there was a man who had lived abroad for a very long time and was fluent in English. And a lot of people actually stumbled upon him because he also had that appearance, Western. She did not hesitate for a second and absolutely correctly called the American.
Such that the best, of course, was Zulia from the very beginning, and literally instantly, I didn't even notice the doubt on her face. She very quickly picked up the very essence of the place where it is.
I just didn't even have to explain the task to her. She immediately began to tell.
I immediately came in and immediately starts telling him, Mikhail, do you have anything to add about your test?
Yes, the test was difficult. The young man had a defect since childhood. After suffering an illness, he was absolutely deaf. They discussed various topics, identifying liver and kidney. Zalia observed it, wandered around, and kept repeating, ear, 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 I can't understand. Again, ear, ear, ear. He was deaf. So, of course, in my trial, she was the only one. Of course, she is given preference.
I believe the best psychic's identity is clear, but we still need to vote. Kindly capture the best photographs. Opinions were divided, but also who will come to leave our project today.
If Zuli had her day, then as for Leonid Konovalov, he frankly felt sorry for the man. He simply couldn't say anything. Other than him, little hit Valentine's point.
Valentine, moreover, she could not correctly detect the American E. I asked her to tell something about Josh's personal life, and she couldn't do it. That is, she again told something, yes, but about another person's.
Regarding the diagnosis of our hero's disease, almost everyone was wrong, but most of all was wrong in terms of error. Valentina Nikitenko, surprised, she came out and said that in front of me, he is a man, but I see a woman in him. He is a hermaphrodite and only a hermaphrodite.
Dear friends, on this amazingly high note, I ask you to cast your votes. Who will leave our project? Surprisingly, opinions are divided once again. Nevertheless, I consider the board of the jury closed, and our psychics are already waiting at the appointed time in the appointed place. Dear psychics, the jury made its decision. Do you already know who is the winner today and who will leave our project? Who do you believe is the best psychic this week? Naturally, everyone is cautious and eagerly waiting for me to reveal the week's best. I won't deceive you. I'll truthfully share who has emerged as the best this week. I take out the envelope and announce Zurajapov. Julia has done this twice. And now, unfortunately, I will open the black envelope and we will find out who will leave our project today. It could be anyone. Aside from Zuli, today marks the departure of a psychic contestant. Valentina Nikitenko.
Here directly.
Nice.
Thank you.
I saw people with a unique gift. My great-grandmother did this. This is how we conducted ourselves. We are guardians of folk traditions. In them, strength and strength. Ours is not that we carry blood, but strength is that we do not use our skills unnecessarily. People around us who often do not notice how we read their thoughts, understand their concerns. Someone has a headache, someone has something. But none of us have ever given the appearance that we know all this. There is a golden rule. Don't get in, do no harm. But if you have already, then you have no right to refuse.
The most impressive, the most wonderful experience imaginable. Please give it away, yes. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate it.